Hello and welcome back, and it's been a real warm one today and everything's wilting including myself. Right, so I've been doing this since 7 o'clock this morning, just trying to get as much as I can in. So we've got the greenhouse, that's all nice and tidy now, and it's got the cucumber bunting up. I've moved down the blueberries, so I may be panting a little bit because that was the last thing I've just done and they were so heavy to do. The main crop potatoes are doing really well, and so is the kuri as well, and the sweet peas are finally in. So lots has been done. Still got plenty more to do, but let me just show you around. It's a lot cooler in here, and that's surprising, but with the windows open and the door open, it doesn't heat up as much as it is outside, and that's down to the polycarbonate with the solar film it's got on there. So yes, really pleased. Look at this. This is what I'm calling the cucumber bunting. Now this one is all the way over to here now. I think it was just up to there last time we did a video, and we've harvested quite a lot more. What I did do is actually leave them on, and they got to around about that size just to try and stem the tide of them. I know Sarah's going to be having a cucumber butty tomorrow morning, well tomorrow, so that won't be get used up. So we stemmed the tide just a little bit by leaving them on a little bit longer. But yeah, I've got jars and jars of pickled cucumber, and long may it last. I am worried now that I have, with having the 4 plants simultaneously, that they're going to burn out. Now we've got plenty of side shoots just popping up all over the place, and what I have done is everything's tied up now. So what I'm hoping is we may get some side shoots going along here. Certainly got enough room to do them on these cables, so we see how we go there. But yeah, they're still flying away, and it's really nice to actually have tied up all these tomatoes. We've got quite a few trusses just starting on them now, and what I'm hoping again is that these trail up there, so hopefully we'll have dangling cucumbers and dangling tomatoes. That'll be really nice. I have side shooted quite a lot of them. I've got a new knife. It's just pretty lethal, I've got to tell you. And there's a few little scrapes on my fingers where I'm just learning how to properly use it, but I have been going right up really close to try and do a clean cut and just see if that works, because I always have so much trouble. But yeah, that's lethal. It's a learning curve with that, and I still have a few like I say, some little nicks on the fingertips there. Right, and this is actually one of the jobs I haven't yet done, is all this lettuce needs to go out, and I'll show you where that's going to go. It's not going to go where the original lettuce is at the moment, because that's still very productive. So I'm trying to find a new spot, so that'll be coming up later on. But I've got, and hopefully I've got it in shot, is we're getting some real nice tomatoes on the grushovka. Now I do need to actually tie this in, because these things get really heavy, and one of the things you have to do with this is to water often, but not that much, because these early tomatoes do get blossom end rot on the grushovka. And the basil, well, I did have a few problems on that. Now this one, they all have had a big haircut where we did make a pesto, but this one has had even more of a haircut just because it had some whitefly. What I did was give it a real good watering down, and I've left it out overnight. I'm going to be monitoring that. That's been a problem I've found this year with this heat. We are getting a lot more early whitefly, and I'll show you a few more examples of that as we go round. Right, so this really is a jungle, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to start to thin these out. I was just waiting until they got to a pretty nice size, because what I'm going to do, is what I'm tempted to do, is try those with some of the thinned out parsnips. What I forgot to say was they're carrots. They were planted in April, I think in May. And same with these as well. So yes, these parsnips, they're doing really well, and I do really need to thin these out, and that is one of the things I don't really look forward to, simply because it is a lucky dip. I got 5 in there, and quite a lot of them, 5 of them are germinated, so I'm going to really have to have a real good feel round just to see, you know, if you got a stubby one, do I leave that? I accidentally leave that one in and pull out the real long one that could have been potentially a really good parsnip. So I do need to weed it as well, and I will get round to it. But yeah, looking forward to these carrots. I think these are the Manchester Red or something like that. I'll look those up. But yeah, and I'm looking forward to these parsnips. So what I do need to do is, if I am thinning these out, and hopefully they are a little, you know, a nice little thin one, then I can stir fry those with the fresh small carrots. So we're just going to see how they go. It's just an experiment, and I do need to look up whether you can actually stir fry them. They should be thin enough just to cook through. Now, because there is a jungle in here, I have got planted in the Brussels, and that's finally, and they also suffered from whitefly. And what I did with those was I literally turned them upside down, and I washed them and left them in the water for around about 5 minutes, just to, shall we say, get rid of any of the whitefly that was on there. Now, I don't know whether they'll survive or whether the whitefly will come back. Hopefully this net protects it to a certain degree, but we're just going to have to see what happens there. Infested with the whitefly again. Then once I start harvesting the carrots, I may do this whole bed as swede or some other root veg that I can harvest during autumn and winter. So we'll see how we go there. I've got a few plans just in case. I got real good Brussels last year. So I was hoping for real good ones again this year, but that's just down to me not potting them on when I should have. And yeah, just trying to catch up now. And another jungle is these potatoes. I know they are probably too close together, but at the same time, look how pretty these flowers are. These are the velour flowers, which is a main crop, which is really good to see so early on. So we'll see how we go with all those, but I've got fingers crossed for that. To get all these flowers this early on, fingers crossed that I could be harvesting these late August, which should be great. The ones at the front here are the Charlottes, and they flowered and finished flowering a couple of weeks back. And the ones really right at the front, which may not be showing up yet, are the Sharp Express. Now I think the flowers are just about to start on those, but it's a real nice backdrop. You walk out of the greenhouse and you see all these. This is a natural scabiosa. Now this year, this has gone big. Now whereas last year we had all the campula that was going big. So every year this becomes a different jungle. But it's really interesting. It's good for the wildlife as well. I am seeing so many ladybirds around here at the moment. But these are the ones I really had to protect, because quite a few ripe ones. And every time I turned my back this morning, the female blackbird was in there, and I don't blame her. I mean, we feed them quite a lot just because they have around about 3 sets of fledglings, and they're on to the 2nd or 3rd set already. They work tirelessly and they go around the garden. You know, there's not many slugs venture out, certainly during the daytime anyway when they're around. But yeah, so the netting's up and we will tidy it up a lot more. But it's just to protect those ones that are ripening. I lost so many this morning. And it's really nice to see this bed is starting to flourish. You know, the kohlrabis are starting to bulb up. I'm thinking maybe a month's time this could be, you know, clear again. And the nursery bed for the leeks, they're starting to thicken up a little bit. So it's going to be nice to move all these down and properly space them out. And then we've got a full leek bed once I get all these kohlrabis out. And they're in really good condition. Now that one over there, that Chinese cabbage, that's just been eaten away. This one's all right, but certainly that side is where the slugs come over a lot more. And these kuri have taken off. Now I was thinking whether to actually keep on this kuri here, but at the same time there's another one there, and no, that's a male one, and we have them on quite a few, and there's one on that one. So I'm going to see if they actually did get pollinated, and a part of me is hoping that they didn't get pollinated, because I want them to get a little bit higher before having a kuri on there. What I'm going to do, if it has been pollinated, is see how big it gets. If it just stays small then and doesn't do anything for the next couple of months after that, I'm taking that off. Months, I mean weeks. And then we've got the sweet peas again. That was done early on this morning. And cleared up as well, so we can see the wall as well. So hopefully we're going to have a whole abundance of new flowers coming out with all those sweet peas. Right, and over here is the beetroot, which is the giant mange tout, and that's also getting its first flower, which is really good to see, because these really didn't get treated well, and I'm really pleased to see how well they've recovered. Oh, it's nice to be in the shade. It really has been a hot and humid day, and the sun has been beating down, and it's nice that it's gone cloudy now. It also helps when filming as well. Right, so all these borders, they do need tidying up. And these are two of the plants that are going to go in. This is a little adder. I suppose the bigger black adder is a little bit taller. And these are Korean mints. Now, I didn't sow any Korean mint this year. I just ran out of time, and that's been the story. I've just ran out of time. Been trying to do too much. But they smell fantastic. Now with Korean mint, it's not the same as normal mint. They don't spread by roots. What they do spread by, and I'm hoping they do that, because these flowers are gorgeous and it's bringing a lot of pollinators in, which is what I need and why I've left them here, simply because of the courgettes and the kuris, is these big spikes. Now they do become multi-spears as well, but these spikes, you get an awful lot of seed. Now it's never really taken, that's simply because of the wood chip, I think. So I will collect quite a lot of the seed, and I'm fingers crossed they survive. It is perennial, but we'll see how it goes. You just never know with the winters that we have, but I will try and mulch them up just to protect the roots. But it is a gorgeous plant, and it, like I say, it smells fantastic. Now you can make the Korean mint tea from it, but yeah, I just love brushing against it. Right, let's go up there. Right, so this bed's doing really well, and these are romping away, these blue bananas. Now what I did do, so hopefully you can see, is I put intermittent sticks just to make sure it doesn't blow everywhere in the wind, and we've had some real heavy winds of late, but it's flying away, so I'm going to have to put another stick in. And it's the same for this one here. I need to guide it a little bit further that direction. Now, thankfully, there's no apples really landing on the actual bed, so that's what I was actually worried about, is with the June drop, we may get a few casualties. But yeah, it's looking good. I'm really looking forward to seeing how it all turns out. Now what I'm going to do, probably when the sweet corn gets to about that height, is start off the purple queen, the dwarf French beans. I'm also thinking is around this edge at the moment. Depends how big these leaves get, and I can always cut them off if need be. Right, so one of the things I do need to do is take off this netting, because you can see behind me the bees are just going through it. Now I am going to put some actual netting on, and so they can climb up that and raise this, and we'll see how they go with that. But also all these dwarf French beans, they've all got some big buds on them, so I'm looking forward to these starting to cascade over, with all the beans. And also it's worth noting is the Bedfordshire Champion is starting to bulk up. So I'm looking forward to seeing how that goes and whether I just do the Bedfordshire Champion onions through the spring and the summer so that they don't come out once the leaf man is finished in the spring. And I may just do the White Star and not do the Sensu onions, but we'll see how it goes. It's really nice to have different options. Yeah, the butterflies are back. Right, so this lettuce, we are daily picking this and we're getting so much. It's probably got about, some of them, the flowers are just starting to go, but the Laurel Rossi and the oak leaf are still surviving. So probably got about 2 to 3 weeks. So it'd be nice to have all those interplanted with the lettuces. So as soon as these finish, we can start harvesting from those 3 front troughs. And I've got quite a lot of lettuces to go out, so they should be full. But as soon as I do plant those out, I will start to put more seeds in here. Hold on a second. Right, so that was the kite, and it really does torture me every time I come out. Every time it comes here, because of the thermals going up the valley, it always does this. And I never got my camera on at the same time. So here's probably, if I'm going to put a clip in, here's another clip when I did have a camera at some point. And then we come to this bed. Now the bolt hardy beetroot, that's starting to bulb up quite nicely now. And it's possibly going to be maybe 2 or 3 weeks before we start harvesting some of that. We'll see how that goes, and maybe a month. But yeah, some nice sized ones coming up on those. I haven't yet done these rat-tailed radishes. Now I'm going to see, now what I have done in the nursery bed this morning was sowing some more, because it still is a jungle and I'm worried that these are getting shaded out. And I know the front ones are just because of the delphinium. So I still think I'll take this out, but it has all of a sudden just got this growth spurt on with the pods. So maybe what I may do is I've got 3 beetroot to go in. What I may do is put those into the nursery bed so they're in the ground, and then I may sow more beetroot to go in here, and then we'll see when I take these out. So hopefully in the meantime I'll get a lot more of these pods. That's another one ready to harvest there. Right, so there you go. It was quite a lot of progress, but I've still got so much more to do. And one that desperately is to finish off these netting for these blueberries. But I'm pleased with how it's gone. She was just having a right old feast this morning, the female blackbird. This nursery bed is the only space I've got where I'm not going to be interplanting. At the moment, I think I will do put in the beetroot that I've got there, and then more French beans there. So hopefully get more succession growing and get more Beiju giant mange 2 in there. And then I'm going to look where I've got the gaps then, and we'll see how we go with those. But I'm really pleased. It's nice to see everything booming. We've been having hot, humid days, and then we've been having a lot of rain and a lot of wind as well. So everything's drying out really quickly, but everything's booming as well. This is probably the best couple of weeks coming up, where you're starting to get harvest after harvest. I've got potatoes, got more potatoes, hopefully some baby carrots, certainly some blueberries, and then we'll see how we go with the kohlrabi. And I've got way too many leeks, so I've got to see where I'm going to put all those. And again, even if they're starting to get just pencil thick, I may use some of those as spring onions. We've got plenty of onions at the moment. Yeah, so everything's booming at the moment, and it's really hard to catch up, and it's certainly hard to water. But yeah, this is a good month to be gardening. Right, and I haven't even mentioned all the flowers that I've got to pot on, and they're all going underneath the apple tree. I'm just waiting for the June drop to stop because at the moment it's just going to get bombed by all the apples, and I don't want to damage the flowers after so long looking after them to be damaged by an apple. Right, so like I always say, I hope you enjoyed the video, and I hope to see you again.